Then what did not work well? We have death of humans, birds, animals due to privileges of chemicals or insecticides. When someone steals the chemical, they end up misusing or selling or poisoning the core or the neighbors. So that's when we ended up having, at this point, there was no medical examination of the spray team. Hence, even testing for those ones who are pregnant. So it was just a matter of recruiting. We began now implementing. So we're putting the spray team at risk.
Death and accidents due to poor handling and disposal of IRS chemicals. I think this happened particularly in the first phase. There were incidents of deaths and also both humans and even animals, probably as a result of poor disposal and people sneaking away with some maybe bits of those chemicals and all that. But in the last phase, we've not had much of such cases. I think there were a lot of measures that were put in place to restrict how the people who are handling this could manage. So, but it's still an aspect that we cannot ignore. It's quite important.
The chemicals is liable to field forages because field forages and misuse. Because these community health workers, the VSTs, sometimes they can force the data falsifications, such that they hide the chemical for their personal use, like for killing of the ants, eels, rats, and ECT. It can also interfere, if not properly managed, can interfere with food chain. If it entered food chain and somebody eats, like if it is used for catching fish in the fish ponds, it can destroy any other aquatic animals. In some community or some people, it leads to allergic reactions, like for those people who have the asthma, they can easily react after spraying their algae.
When it was first introduced at the first phase, there was pilferage, they call it pilferage, there was misuse of the insecticides, because we know that the chemical can be used in the gardens to kill ant hills, because the ant hills destroy the crops in the gardens. But you know, with society, it's diverse and you cannot control whatever happens in society. When somebody takes the chemical, it can turn out to be used for suicide. Okay, maybe somebody is annoyed somewhere. But if you also pour the chemical, anyhow, the animals can also feed on them and they die. Mostly the cases were on the animal deaths and very few human deaths. But we actually, the increased training and sensitization has reduced, actually in this round, in my district, I don't know if other districts registered cases, but there was not even a case of stolen can of the insecticide. There was no misuse, no death whatsoever.
Then the issue of fear of long-term effects of IRS chemical still remains lingering in everybody's mind, because technically or professionally, this probably has not been packaged or unpacked well. If you get key leaders who would come and speak in communities and say this is dangerous, and you know leaders can influence the mindset of the people. So there are people who still think and believe that this would have a long-term effect. So we need people to be convinced that this will not have a long-term effect. So this is something that